like a roaring fight, crypto and dreams under stadium lights, sweat and fire, hearts ignite. Evening sparks buffet, with the Ginch we play. Highlights, wild scores collide, it's a riot live tonight.
It's November 12th, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Early Evening Sports Buffet with Ginch. I am said Ginch. I am your host. It's going to be a short show. Just some scores and whatnot. Some news and notes for the day. I hope everybody is safe and warm. Over here off to my left, what you're looking at, it's over here off to my left. I'm watching the TV screen over here for the dumbasses in Washington, D.C., the buffoons, the fifth graders that they are. Everybody wants to take their ball and go home.
Flash bright like a roaring fight, crypto and dreams under stadium lights, sweat and fire, hearts ignite. Evening sparks buffet, with the Ginch we play.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the penny is no longer. November 12th, 2025, the last penny in Philadelphia was printed today. I don't know how they're going to work this out, but we'll see. Welcome to another edition of Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. I am Sid Ginch, my your host. I am watching the TV screen, some updated news and whatnot. The dumbasses, the buffoons, the five-year-olds, the fifth graders in Washington, D.C., who all want to take their ball and go home, and they can't come to a compromise. Thanks to the Ginch Quartet there. Welcome. It'll be a quick show today. Some scores, some news and notes. Week 11 of the NFL coming up this weekend. Holy shit. Week 12 of college football. I always say that I'm going to sit back and enjoy and savor every football game. And before I know it, it's over. Wasn't it just the beginning of September? Wasn't it just Labor Day? It goes by so fast. There's so few football games. That's the problem. Baseball, there's 162 games. Basketball, there's 82. Hockey, there's 82. But welcome. In the next week or two, I will have an announcement. Something in the works. I'm glad for the opportunity. But nothing is set in stone yet, so I will digress, as they say. Some news and notes, some headlines from around the world of sports today. The Los Angeles Clippers' Bradley Beal, unfortunately, he will undergo season-ending hip surgery, his agent says. According to ESPN News Services, he has a fracture in his left hip, and he will undergo season-ending surgery. Beal's agent, Mark Bartelstein of Priority Sports, told Champs Charnia that the three-time All-Star will have a full and complete recovery after the surgery. Bartelstein said, "We met with numerous doctors and specialists around the country in collaboration with the entire Clippers medical staff over the last few days and came to the decision unanimously that the surgery will allow Brad to have a full and complete recovery," Bartelstein said. So hopefully he can come back next year. Big blow to the Clippers. But look, it's the Clippers. All kinds of shit happens to the Clippers. They are just the also-rans in the city of Los Angeles when it comes to basketball. Michigan State, this is reported by Jake Trotter at ESPN. They have been hit with a 3-year probation, 14 wins from 3 seasons vacated from violations that occurred under former coach Mel Tucker's regime. And I'll just read this. The violations occurred due to the participation of 3 ineligible players. Now, the Spartans will vacate all 14 wins from the past 3 seasons. Spokesperson confirmed. That includes all 5 wins last season during Jonathan Smith's first year as coach. 3 players are no longer with the Michigan State program. Michigan State will also be penalized $30,000 plus 1.5% of the football program's budget. For the 2024 season, that budget was $58.6 million, according to figures provided by the Knight Commission on Intercollegiate Athletics. It gets worse. The Spartans will also face restrictions on official and unofficial visits, recruiting communications, recruiting person days, and off-campus recruiting contacts and evaluations over the probationary period. Not exactly sure Jonathan Smith was signing up for this. You knew some sanctions were going to come down. But Michigan State, the next 3 or 4 years, is really going to have a rough time of it, to be honest with you. Unless Jonathan Smith can build something there. Right now, at least for the next 3 or 4 years, I don't see it. Sources, this is reported by Tim McMahon. Espen. Dallas Mavericks Anthony Davis will not play until owners okay. I'll just read this for you as it is. Mavericks Governor Patrick Dumont has requested medical data indicating that Anthony Davis is not at risk of aggravating his left calf strain before giving a green light for the 10-time All-Star his return. He's listed as questionable for tonight's game against Phoenix. 3rd straight game he has that designation. It says here that he was originally targeted for his return on Saturday against the Wizards, but there was a disagreement between Mavs Director of Health and Performance, Johan Billsborough, and Davis's personal medical staff on whether that was prudent. Davis was held out after Dumont sided with Billsborough, preferring to err on the side of caution. Will, of course, be going to err on the side of caution. But look, a lot of the superstars now in the NBA, they're getting hurt. LeBron James is getting old. Anthony Davis is getting older. Bradley Beal out with the hip fracture. And the list goes on. Guys nowadays are just have more of a propensity to get hurt for some reason. I don't know. I personally think when it comes to NFL, all these other injuries, I think it has to do with the way they're being trained. It might have something to do with the supplementation that they take. I don't know. But it just seems like athletes' bodies. And look, way back in the day, guys got hurt, but they played through it. Different generation. Different injuries. But again, they're going to err on the side of caution. Amon-Ra St. Brown has apologized. He said if the Trump dance offended anybody. I'll read you the quote verbatim. First of all, if I offended anyone, I do apologize. I did not mean to offend anyone. It was just we're having fun. He said on the St. Brown podcast that he co-hosts with his brother, Equanimous. If any president was at that game and had to dance, I would have done it. It had nothing to do with who the president was. Okay. Excuse me. Mike McDaniel came out and said that he is forever indebted to Dan Quinn over his sobriety fight. And I'll just read you this. This is reported by Marcel Louis Jacques Espin. Mike McDaniel, Marston, the Commanders play the Dolphins tomorrow. Dan Quinn holds a special place in my heart and my career. I think he was there at ground zero when I became sober and supported me and gave me the opportunity to continue what I love to do. So for that, I'll forever be indebted to him. I think it speaks to the type of leader he is. I know he really touches every player he coaches from a true, authentic standpoint. I think the Commanders are very fortunate to have him. It said on January 4th, 2016, then Atlanta Falcons coaches Quinn, Kyle Shanahan, and Raheem Morris all sat McDaniel down and told him they believed he was drinking too often. An assessment McDaniel agreed with. Good for him. It's good to hear positive stories like that in a world that is so full of negative. The National Women's Soccer League, to continue expansion, targets 18th team in 2028, according to Commissioner Jessica Berman. She said it is our intention to admit Team 18, and we are targeting a 2028 launch. So, the Women's Soccer League expanding to 18 teams. In reference to the Marshawn Nealon situation, again, thoughts and prayers out to his family and friends. This is reported by Elizabeth Merrill and Anthony Oliveri Espin. I'll just read this for you. On the night Dallas Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Nealon died, the team's director of security, Cable Johnson, called law enforcement to ask for a welfare check on Nealon and to tell police Nealon had sent a text saying he didn't want to go to jail. Cable Johnson said he sent out some group texts that are concerning, probably mental health, but the group texts seemed to be saying goodbye, made some statement about not able to go to prison or to jail. Again, all indications are that he died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound last week. And then it came out that his girlfriend's pregnant, expecting a child. Those are the types of things we don't like to see. And it is quite sad. And again, I say at the end of every show, if you see somebody struggling for whatever reason, ask questions, inquire. What can you do to help? What can you do to get this person or a person's help? Because you might not just be saving a life, you might be saving multiple lives. So, again, and if you are out there and you're struggling, pick up the phone, call a hotline, call a counselor, reach out before you do anything drastic. Some NFL news. Went over a bunch of stuff yesterday. The Patriots have ruled out running back Ramondre Stevenson. This will be his third straight miss. They're also ruling out Kayshon Boutte and tight end Austin Hooper. So they will be out versus the Jets. Looks like Brock Purdy is trying to come back as soon as he can. The Giants have placed kicker Mr. Gano on IR for the second time in 2025. Mr. LeFleur in Green Bay said that he's going to keep calling plays, but he needs to look inward. I don't know what that means. So there you have it. So it's going to be a quick show. Let's jump to the association. If you're betting on tonight's games, the Bucks will be without Giannis. He's dealing with a knee issue. He's out versus the Hornets tonight. Again, went over the firing of Nico Harrison yesterday. Most of the stuff I went over yesterday. So let me go over the scores from last night in your NBA association. Raptors beat the Nets 119 to 109. For the Raptors, your leading scorer was Brandon Ingram with 25. Scotty Barnes, 15 points, 11 boards. Jacob Paletti added 10 boards. For the Brooklyn Nets, who are now 1-10, struggling, your leading scorers were Michael Porter Jr. With 21 and Nick Claxton with 21. Excuse me. Knicks beat the Grizzlies 133 to 120. For the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson, your leading scorer with 19, along with Santi Aldama, both with 19 points. For the Knicks, leading scorer was Jalen Brunson with 32 points. Karl Anthony Towns added 13 boards. '76ers beat my Celtics 102 to 100. For the Celtics, Jaylen Brown, leading scorer with 24. Nemias Queta, 10 rebounds. For the 76ers, leading scorer was Tyrese Maxey with 21. Andre Drummond, 13 boards. The Thunder beat the Warriors 126 to 102. Leading scorer for the Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga with 13. Oklahoma City, Shea, your leading scorer. Chet Holmgren added 23 points and 11 boards. Jazz beat the Pacers in a holy shit game, 152 to 128. The Pacers, ladies and gentlemen, stink. Just horrendous. The Jazz scored 152. For Indiana, your leading scorer was Pascal Siakam, 27 points. For the Jazz, your leading scorer would be Lauri Markkanen, 35 points. Yusuf Nurkic added 11 boards. And the Nuggets beat the Kings 122 to 108. Leading scorer for the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, 35 points. He added 15 boards. For the Kings, your leading scorers were Drew Eubanks with 19 and Domantas Sabonis, 19. With the schedule tonight, 7 p.m., Bucks are at the Hornets, the Bulls are at the Pistons, the Magic are at the Knicks. 7:30 p.m., Grizzlies at the Celtics, Cavs at the Heat, 8 o'clock, Wizards at the Rockets, Trailblazers at the Pelicans, Warriors at the Spurs, 8:30, Suns at the Mavs, 9:30, Lakers at the Thunder, 10 o'clock, Hawks at the Kings, 10:30, Nuggets at the Clippers. Jump to the NHL, shall we? Some NHL news. Matthews and Stolarz exited the game yesterday in a Leafs loss with injuries. Doesn't say what the injuries are yet. The NHL is questioning untested ice before the Olympics. As soon as it comes up here. And it's not. Of course, we don't like buffering on this show. Let's try this again. It's continuing to buffer. It's trying to bring up the story. But for some odd reason, like I said, anybody who watches this show live, or if they watch it later, again, technology has the idea of shoving a red hot poker up my ass. This is reported by Kristen Shilton at ESPN. Let's see. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said the NHL GM meetings on Tuesday. There's still work going on the rinks and the ice condition. It's something that we're monitoring closely, and we have absolutely no control over it. This is all on the International Olympic Committee and the International Ice Hockey Federation. So it looks like the particular ice surfaces are not up to par. That's sort of a main thing. Let's go to scores from yesterday. Bruins beat the Leafs 5-3. Kings beat the Canadiens 5-1. Stars beat the Senators in overtime 3-2. Capitals beat the Hurricanes 4-1. The Blues beat the Flames 3-2. Final in overtime, the Sharks over the Wild 2-1. Avalanche over the Ducks 4-1. Jets over the Canucks 5-3, and the Blue Jackets over the Kraken 2-1. On tonight's slate, 7 o'clock Rangers at the Lightning, 7:30 Oilers at the Flyers, 9 p.m. Sabres at the Mammoth, and at 9:30 the Devils are at my Blackhawks. Just looking for some other news and updates. Not seeing anything. Today in soccer, it was the UEFA Women's Champions League. Games being played today. Barcelona beat Oud Heverlee Leuven 3-0. Bayern Munich over Arsenal 3-2. Juventus over Atletico Madrid 2-1. Benfica and FC Twente 1-1 apiece. Tie. Draw. Man United beat Paris Saint-Germain 2-1. I think that's going to do it. Coming up at 7 p.m. here on the Cole County Entertainment Network. Student Body Right. I will be reviewing week 11 of college football, previewing week 12, and then I will go over the second installment of the college football playoff rankings. It's all going to change this week anyway. I don't put a lot of faith or stock into it. Just don't. So I think that's going to do it for this edition. At 8 o'clock here on the Cole County Entertainment Network, go check out my man, Fuji's Philly Flair. That'll be at 8 o'clock here on the Cole County Entertainment Network. As I end each show, practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. Hug somebody every once in a while. You might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. You might not get a second opportunity. And again, just like Marshawn Nealon, if you see somebody struggling or you know something might be wrong, for God's sakes, ask questions, inquire. This person might need help. What can you do to help? How can we get this person help? You might not just be saving a life. You might not, or you might be saving multiple lives for our English-speaking friends. So, with all that being said, I will see everybody at the top of the hour at 7. Fuji's on at 8. There's only one thing left to do, and that's for Dandy Don to take me out.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.